So, guys, we are back and ready to start game number 2 of the second semi-final. Of course, logiX versus Peculiar Gaming. A great game we saw in the first set. Obviously, Peculiar coming out on top of that one. And now we're going to figure out if logiX can send us to a best-of-3 set, or if Peculiar are going to say, well, I think what would be the upset of the tournament so far for sure if they manage to 2-0 here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we were a little surprised. And logiX started off very well, but Peculiar, after that Dragon fight, as we said, they just came out so strong. And it's one of those things that many of the top pro players have started to question lately about the just simply fighting for that dragon. If you're not in such a strong position, then maybe you should just leave be, let it go, just push the lanes a little bit, try and put a bit of damage onto those towers, and just come out with simply the farm from the lanes, because you do pass up quite a lot of farm from them lanes. If you have a prolonged dragon fight, you know, the opposition are only getting 150 gold from that. If you can farm out your lane maybe 1 or 2 waves, you're going to get more gold. You're going to get more experience. So often it isn't always worth it, but, you know, from our point of view, from a fighting point of view, it's great to see them fight. So we love them fights, but from a player point of view, I can see the questioning in them ethics. So the bans coming out, LeBlanc, Shen and Soraka for Peculiar Gaming. Got Twisted Fate and Ari. No surprise to see that Twisted Fate in there, really. Honestly, I'm not too sure which way this one could go. logiX are really going to have something to prove here. They felt, well, you know, it would have hurt them. They've come into this one unbeaten, and suddenly, first game, semi-finals, bang, live at event, you've been beaten. So they will have be on the back foot here. Peculiar Gaming, they had nothing to lose in that first game, I think, and they felt they drove home the advantage as soon as they got that big advantage. Janna being picked up first thing by Carianas. So that will be Coralol taking that one. And it's looking like Shen going to be picked up this time as probably the jungler. It will be, who was the jungler? Blood Dragon was the jungler who went Mundo last time, which does surprise me going to Shen, Shyvana, sorry, because a lot of people at the moment feel that Mundo's the stronger jungler than Shyvana.
Yeah, they've got a very kind of similar style. Obviously, Mundo is ulti, that ridiculous health regen that he gets, the cleaver for the big slow. And he's just one of those champions that's real sticky. When he gets in your face, it's hard to get rid of him. And, you know, Shyvana, like you say, we've not seen, or we've seen a lot of her today, which, you know, more than Mundo, that's for sure. So, well, that's going to be coming out. Will we see Mundo in the jungle for Peculiar? That, of course, still could happen. No real surprises that Twisted Fate, by the way, has been banned out by logiX. That was a Captain Obvious ban. If they'd have not banned that off, then something would have been wrong with the decisions that they made for this one. But Peculiar going to lock in now. Obviously, they've already had that Janna in there. Last game around, they had themselves the Janna Corki lane. Will they go for it again this time? It looks like they're going to favour a Janna Kog'Maw bottom lane. If Kog'Maw ends up in the bottom lane, obviously that's not 100% given either, but most likely. So it's Warwick and Kog'Maw.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lane wick, I think, up top against Lee Sin. That would be the obvious choice, I believe, there. Kennen, again, being picked up by Akioso. And honestly, it didn't really have that much penetration. But it is a good champion to pick, and it's a wise one to pick. We are seeing Nunu being picked up, taking that away from that combo of Kog'Maw Nunu, which immediately, well, not really taking it away because I'd already locked in Janna, but you know what I mean. Won't we having the Blood Boil pick, which means it probably will be Corki, I think. Will be the final pick for logiX. The question is, what will Peculiar go with? Tryndamere, maybe. That could be mid-lane Tryndamere, you know. We've seen a couple of mid-lane Tryndameres coming out from Moscow 5 lately, but with the Galio pick in there would make me think it's definitely not going to be. It could, you know, be Jungle Warwick. That was the original spot. The original jungler was Warwick. And it's going to be switching to Udyr, so we're not going to see Tryndamere in there. It will be Jungle Udyr, and that will be top lane Warwick. I'm pretty certain of that one. And a Galio in the middle. I never know what to make of Galio. He's a boring champion, isn't he? He really is.
It's not the most. It's only interesting to watch in team fights when he ultis.
Yeah,
that's when it's interesting to watch Galio and what he's got to offer. But still, he offers a lot to the team comp, and that's why we're going to be seeing him in here. Obviously, going to be taking the middle lane here. Blood'n'Ticks in the jungle. I say Blood'n'Ticks in the jungle. Udyr in the jungle. And looking like we'll have that lane wick. The question is who we're going to go with as the last pick for the other side. Obviously, they've got a Kennen there. Could, at the end of the day, still be an AD Kennen down in that bottom lane. Could be Kennen, obviously, in the middle, which we saw in the last game. With Urgot is out of there. But the rest of the field, obviously, apart from Kog'Maw, is pretty much open on the AD side of things. And Gragas.
No. Surely not. Oh, it is. Okay, AD Kennen down the bottom and a Gragas in the middle against... So that's... I think that's a change. I think they've changed what they were doing there because I am almost... bang to the book. I would have put money on Corki being that last pick there, and suddenly they've gone for Gragas. Is that against Galio? I'm not sure. It's definitely an interesting one. I would not put money on that at all. So, are they having swap issues, or is that how they're going to keep it? Looking like it's going to be Lee Sin jungle, Sleazy Weezy on top lane against Shyvana. So they're preferring Shyvana against Warwick up the top lane rather than a Lee Sin. It's obviously they're the two heroes they have that ability to switch between them. Akioso will be in the middle on Gragas against Galio, and Severus as the AD carry down the bottom alongside him. There we go, they have switched it up. So Sleazy Weezy will be top lane, and Blood Dragon in the jungle. That's what I would have expected, but I certainly was not expecting Shushei's Gragas to come out.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting a Gragas there as that final pick whatsoever. That's a surprise to me, but always love to see a Gragas. I'm not going to lie. Good champion. At least fun to watch. But against Galio, is he going to be able to offer that much? I'm not particularly sure how his number one is far. Obviously, Galio in lane in terms of farming is he can push. Can Gragas do that as well? Can he keep things up there? I'm not 100% sure, but that's something we're going to find out. Of course, this is game 2 of the second semi-final between logiX and Peculiar Gaming. Let's jump in onto the champion screen and give you a rundown. So, for Peculiar on the blue side, Carianis on Udyr, Coralol on Janet, Tabuno on Kog'Maw, Blunatix on Warwick, and Attackman on Galio. Over on the other side, the red side, is going to be logiX with Sleazy on Lee Sin, Akaizo on Gragas, Severus on Kennen, Intox on Nunu, and Blood Dragon on Shyvana. Really excited to see how this one's all going to go down. And
it's a strange combo because they're quite counterintuitive. You've got Kennen and Nunu's ulti that are in that area effect, and then you've got Gragas that will knock them away. But I guess you could say the same with Galio and Janna as well, but you wouldn't expect Janna to obviously use the ulti like that. But the Gragas ulti can be a little bit of a wild thing if you throw it wrong, and chances are you could knock them out of that damage. But also, don't forget, you could put it onto Galio and knock him out of that ulti, which is probably why they switched it at the end there. I think that can be my only trail of thought there. I'm not too sure how Akioso is on Gragas. I've not really stalked the guy enough to realise his play styles. There's that much honesty that goes on in League of Legends lately. It's hard to keep track of everything that happens. There's so many tournaments and events and matches that go on throughout the day. In fact, you just need to look at the LoL calendar and go, wow, there's really a lot happening right now in League of Legends. So as it stands, we are seeing the pings going down. The ping actually on Blood Dragon's head there. Whether they were thinking of going for it, whether they'd spotted him. I think they'd spotted him because of that award they'd placed in the river. And are they saying, Kennen, you should go down to this tri-bush? Because obviously Peculiar will be going for those golems shortly, and they are heading towards that tri-bush, I feel. Severus is trundling along that way. But again, I don't think we're going to see an invade here, Joe. Looks like Severus, yeah, they're going to go to the tri-bush. Are they going to back away? Ah, they've put a ward down. Wisely done for Peculiar. And they're going to see that invade coming already from logiX. Spotted a mile away with double ward of their own now. They're going to go towards those golems, and already they're backing away from this one. As Peculiar realise they don't really want to go for it. They've reset, and the golems will be left, I think, Joe.
Yeah, no, there's really no point for what they offer you. There's actually not that much worth in fighting over that kind of positioning, risking the fact that you could somehow end up giving away that first blood. But anyway, let's give you a rundown on the lanes. Bottom lane with Peculiar, Kog'Maw, Janet versus Kennen, Nunu. In the middle, it's going to be Gragas, the fat man, versus Galio, the ugly man. I don't know. where I was going with that one. And
Gargoyle.
Warwick versus Leigh Sin up at top. That's the one, a gargoyle. That's the actual word that I was looking for. And we are, yeah. Udyr already is going to spot Blood Dragon, who's come straight down here. He's got, obviously, Phoenix Stance on, and there's a flash burn. Very early flash, 2.5 minutes in.
And he had to stop the burnout quick as well, because it had took the Dragon then.
Yeah, that's not something that you really want to have happening. I mean, if the Dragon had put a couple of hits on him and Udyr then followed in as well, that could have gone a bit pear-shaped for him. But still, early bit of action. Not too much. Interested to see how this top lane goes, actually, between Warwick and Leigh Sin. Obviously, Sleazy had a strong lane phase with Leigh Sin last night until we saw Olaf get himself the that double kill down at bottom. One thing that I feel could be a bit of a trouble for Kog'Maw down at the bottom is the fact that, you know, there's a lot of poke here. Nunu can get the Ice Blast off onto him, then you've got the Shuriken from Kennen, and I think that that could be a hard time, actually. Down up at the top, Lunatic's taking a lot of damage as well. And he's been forced to burn through his pots here, Deman, very early on.
Yeah, well, Warwick certainly is a lot weaker than Leigh Sin at the start. Leigh Sin's like one of the strongest early game champions, whereas Warwick's one of the weakest. So until he can get that you know, lifesteal up there, etc., get the levels on that, he's going to have to burn through his pots, which is exactly what he's doing. And wisely so. So Sleazy Weezy knows he's going to have a good run of it at the start. And like you mentioned down the bottom there, if they can land the stuns on Tabuna, onto Kog'Maw, they can stun him up. Ice Blast coming out from Intox. Intox was doing a fantastic job of just forcing them away, zoning them out as much as he could. And actually, you know, Galio was forced to go down and cover off Kerianos there as well, who'd just taken the red buff and been very low doing so. So Attackman's actually lost out in the middle there for a short while, lost out on some of the experience. You can see the CS is still very even between the two, but would have moved away from the experience for that short time. But Tabuna, definitely, you can see the shurikens landing on him non-stop from Severus. Severus being far more aggressive this game than he was in the last one, feeling a lot more confident on Kennen AD, it seems.
Obviously had a lot of practice with this one, and that's where he's getting his confidence from. Really, in the, you know, pretty much as far pushed up as you possibly can be there. Up at top, Sleazy's just got an early ward down in that lane, just in the river, sorry, just to stop Udyr coming in from behind him. That probably shows that he wants to play in this early stage where he knows that he's going to be stronger than Warwick, that little bit more aggressive. Udyr is going to start to work his way up towards his top lane for a gank, and it's pinged straight away. Sleazy knows that that one's coming. But still, I feel this bottom lane could be where we get to see this first blood. Severus, constant abuse onto Tabuna. And this shield is having to be utilized constantly. Every time it comes off cooldown, it's going straight back onto Tabuna.
Sleazy Weezy stops and dances, knowing full well that Udyr was in the bush. That's just ballsy play from him there. Very nicely done. Pings down the bottom, but this bottom lane, look at it, look how far Tabuna is forced back. Having to stick behind his turret. Needs to be careful, because Intox could easily take an Ice Blast, take the tower hit, and Severus could dive in there. And he's well aware of that fact. And Coral, obviously, without really too much into that shield at the moment, is just being forced back again. Severus with those shurikens, long range in them. Just saw a bit of an invade from Blood Dragon there as well. He was maybe having a sniff around. We've got Udyr coming down the bottom now. Severus is got to be careful, takes a tower hit. That's less than ideal. Bad timing for him as well. Here we go. We can see that Kerian is coming round. Ice Blast, very nicely done by Intox. Beautiful timing. Look at that. Just gave him all that time to get away from it. What a very well timed Ice Blast from Intox there. That is your perfect support man right there, working for you. Now, meanwhile, at the top lane, Lunatics has started to get his Hungering, is it Hungering Strike? It is Hungering Strike. Yeah. Back up now. So he's, obviously he can sustain a bit more against Sleazy Weezy, but Sleazy Weezy's still trying to use that advantage to keep pushing him out until he sort of hits 6 and goes back and buys. I expect that to stay the same. Tabuna, though, again, very low bottom, and this time we'll have to go back and buy.
Yeah, he's going to go back. Actually, did have the Summoner Heal, which he's chosen not to use up until now. Obviously, didn't want to be burning that off until he really was forced to. He's going to come back with double Doran's Blade, and they are going to be pushing in on top, but still.
He did an ulti, but it didn't do a great deal.
I was going to say, did he really? I looked up there, it's like, eh? Yeah. And yeah, Sleazy, I think, as you said, Warwick's not that scary at this time of the game. When he gets a couple of ganks maybe coming in on his area, then he might become a little bit more dangerous. We saw that Lunatics was being forced back again. Blood Dragon actually was spotted by Kerianos. Will get stunned up here as they tried to continue in, and actually the flash was used to get away. The pinged that Galio was actually coming up to that top lane as well. And they wanted to play it safe, but look at this Gragas being a sneaky little monster in the back there. Smite, is it up? Yeah, no, Smite isn't up here for Carry On, so they need to be deadly careful on this blue buff. The barrel is going to go in there, and it is going to be stolen away by Blood Dragon. Attackman going to use his ulti, and there is first blood. Wow, Shyvana, what even happened to her? That absolutely exploded. And Kai'So has to go away. He used his ulti to try and stop the Galio ulti from going off, but still, first blood going over to Peculiar.
Yeah, and Attackman obviously gets the blue straight back off Shyvana.
Yeah.
Picks up a kill and the blue buff. Thank you very much. It's good of you to kill it for me and give me all that gold. So he's not really worked out too well there. Picked up 1170 gold so far, and also now forcing Akioso back. Akioso's going to have to back away on this turret. Got to be careful because that poke from Attackman can be very dangerous. We've already seen how deadly he is with his poke on Twisted Fate. I'm sure he can do the exact same sort of thing with Galio. Severus returns to bottom lane as well. Severus picking up double Dorans and a Vampiric Scepter on that return. And Tabuna also returns to lane down the bottom there. And in terms of CS between them, obviously Severus is winning out. We saw he was harassing, forcing them back actually. Ooh, Carollo coming up towards the blue buff, trying to cause problems for Blood Dragon here. Akioso is there. He needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out. Oh no, he's got Intox coming around the side. Surely the Ice Blast will go down on him. Will the rest of the team support him though? No, he won't. And he'll happily just take the blue buff onto Akioso. Honestly, I think if Severus would have got up there as well, they could have certainly taken Coralol down there, maybe picked up that extra kill. They are 1-0 down at the moment, but Severus continues farming down the bottom.
Yep, farm, and up at top, well, it's got to that stage now, both players at level 7, that they're going to be not doing all that much and not really risking too much, but it can change very quickly. When one player decides, right, I'm all in on this fight, and then just kind of dive straight in onto him. But I feel that'll probably come more from Sleazy than Lunatics. See Nunu here, just going around the safe way actually to get that ward in onto Dragon. He knows that Coralol and Tabuno are by that brush on the bottom side, and I really want to keep an eye on this top. I can see that their icons on the minimap are pretty much over the top of each other the whole time. But they're just farming. They're just farming like normal up on this top. But Lunatic's definitely the one that's taking more damage there. We're seeing the push coming in now. Carrionis is here at the bottom. Can he get the stun? No, he can't. Good decision to use a flash there by Intox. That will get him back in towards safety. And a very tense game it is, I feel, at this point as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
No overextensions.
The ward down the bottom is going to cause problems. I think Shyvana was trying to ninja his way into that bush there, but I think they might go for Dragon here. They've just realised that, yeah, they've just seen them all go back, and they're going to try and steal it away. The ward's there, but honestly, I think logiX could pick this one up before the rest of Peculiar get here if they react in time. Kennen needs to be in there helping out very quickly. They will take it away. Good positioning and timing. Well, I say that, Kog'Maw's ulti came in, tried to land the steal, but didn't happen. Kennen now forcing problems on towards Tabuna. He has got that ward in that bush, so he could easily continue the fight. And honestly, Severus could have probably continued through that one, but the ping realises that well, they can see Warwick on that river. Actually, Gragas is voiding action. He's going a long way around on towards that turret. You can see Blunatix and Scarianus. They want to dive on that turret. He's not there, though. And he wisely keeps away from that one. Sleazy Weezy now comes around, forces his damage. Oh, that's going to be the ulti from Attackman on towards it. Great ulti. That's what I talked about with the Gragas ulti. Managing to help survive himself. Sleazy Weezy just about going to get away from that one. The Ignite burning will manage to shield up and escape. You can see Warwick's, his blood scent still on him though. They know exactly where he is. Trying to get the slam on towards Blunatix there. Blunatix is going to back away. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Tabuna also being cross-targeted by Severus and Intox with an Ice Blast and a Shuriken. And again, Tabuna forced to go back. But this is very, very close, this one, Joe.
Yeah, super close game. Actually, Blunatix going to walk in towards Blood Dragon now. He's just putting a ward down there in that tri-bush. And Burnout knocking him down to below half HP. Not sure that's such a bad hit, though, for Warwick. And actually, he's going to go straight home after that one. And what's he got in there? Recurve bow. So most probably, I guess, yeah, headed up towards the Wit's End, maybe. Let's see.
That would make sense.
Yeah. And what do we have? Sleazy also was back. Hex Drinker put into his. Gragas comes back as well to lane in a second with triple Doran's Ring. Let's have a look at the CS because we've not really covered that too much. In middle, Gragas 85 CS. to the 108 of Galio. And that's kind of expected, actually, that Galio's ahead with that CS. Up at top, 81 for Leigh Sin to 67 of Warwick. So Warwick losing out a little bit there. Down at the bottom, Kennen just has a couple of goes at Tabuno. It is 98 for Kennen to 62 of Cogmore. So pretty much across the board here for logiX, doing nicely. It's just that middle lane where they're losing out a little bit, and obviously that could come back to hurt them later on in the game. Severus needs to be careful not to get caught here. And actually, both bottom lanes still have someone to heal up, by the way, Deman. They've not utilized it whatsoever just yet. Carianis here is doing his blue. Ward goes in. We are going to see a similar situation. This time, though, Sleazy Weezy has come down. Oh, and the blue is going to reset itself for a brief moment there. This could be an interesting fight. All three moving in. Attackman going to get hit there with the ultimate as well. It's Carianis, so that's the focus of the damage. And there goes the barrel rolling in. And Akioso is going to get his first kill of the game, and the first kill of the game also for logiX. 1-1. A close game, but still all the action happening around the Peculiar Gaming blue buff.
Yeah, and ironically, roles reversed this time, because this time Gragas picked up the blue buff from stealing it off Udyr there, as Udyr had smited it down, so took the kill away. Tabuna getting caught again there, stunned up by Severus. Severus really driving home his advantage in this bottom lane than he's had. He's obviously a lot stronger CS. Kennen is a lot stronger early game, and he's constantly landing them shurikens on towards Tabuna. This time, is he going to push the tower? I don't think they will. I think they'd be wise to just, let the minions do the job and continue doing the damage on towards Tabuna, because Tabuna is really struggling down the bottom here. He's already fell 30 CS behind, and it's causing problems for him. They're definitely going to cause problems for later on in the game. Top lane, however, Sleazy Weezy and Blundertix, you can see Blundertix is much stronger now. He's quite happily standing and banging with Sleazy. Sleazy Weezy's having to back away from this one. Blundertix now with a strong push. Actually, a target gone down on towards Sleazy's head there. Not too sure what that's all about. Shyvana, though, Blood Dragon, living up to the name on Shyvana, is stealing away that red buff. You can see Carianis actually coming round. Will find it. Does he realise? Does he realise? He comes around. Yes, he does. He realises it's there. Blood Dragon tries to back off. Are they going to try and get the smite? Remember, Carianis has used his smite. So actually, no, he's got it back. He had light. Oh, he had no! Mistimed the smite. Would you believe it? And Blood Dragon steals it away. Mistimed it by a fraction of a millimetre, a fraction of a second. Went too early on it, and well, that's the difference between getting that red buff and not, and the big experience and gold that goes with it. Akioso clearing out the wraiths as well. He's got Sorcerer's Boots with those triple Doran's Rings, and of course the Blasting One now as well, and start to farm up a lot better now. Obviously Attackman had the early advantage with those gusts he could do, throwing it across, but Akioso will be able to farm like a pro now, and is doing a fantastic job. Blue buff of their own will be spawning shortly for logiX, and logiX looking a lot stronger in this one though.
Yeah, looking very good. Their lane phases, I mean, it was in the last game, wasn't it? It was only really once they started moving around the map a little bit that things went a bit pear-shaped for them. Bruno is now back in lane, but really, I feel that Severus has outclassed him in this bottom lane. I mean, yeah, obviously the poke that you get with Kennen at this lower level is very, very difficult to handle for the Cogmore anyway. Well, we see them start to come in, and look at the ward in this game as well from logiX. Really, really strong. Both sides of the enemy jungle, they do have vision, and they know that this dragon is coming up soon. You can see there are 4 of them on this bottom side. Actually, I tell a lie, they're all there with 5. And I think they're pinging here Peculiar to meet up in a nice orderly fashion rather than coming in from all different sides. And it looks like they're going to work down the ramp. That's a big chunk of damage there done by the barrel. Obviously pink ward in place will take out the pink ward of Peculiar. Dragon still not there. Not quite ready. There we go. So Dragon's up. And logiX, you feel like they want to start it off, but they're a little bit nervous about doing so. There goes the barrel out. It's going to be left in position to give him that vision until someone goes anywhere near it, or until it explodes like it just did. And logiX have now started off this dragon. The question is, how's he going to go? Barrel is in there as well. It lands onto Coriolis, and logiX have peeled away from dragon. And they wanted to keep going, but it actually reset itself. And there goes Sleazy. Actually goes in. The Q's going to land, and he's going to make the move in. They are going to go for the push with a Kennen ulti. Look how much damage it's done there onto logiX. Lunatics, is he going to go down using that Q to try and stay alive? Finished off though with the Nunu ulti. Attackman going very low as well. There was the barrel to take down Udyr, and Attackman surely not going to escape from this one, is he? Summoner heal was used actually by Cogmore to try and keep him alive. Akioso will fall to Cogmore, and I think Cogmore is safe here on this turret. Well, that was a 3 for 2 in advantage of logiX, and that puts them ahead in the kills. Dragon is obviously still there, and there's a flash over from Blood Dragon. It's a burnout which actually finishes things off, and that was a great move from Blood Dragon to get the kill on Janna.
I'm not sure how they saw him.
What? Yeah, Janna put the ward over, and then he just flashed straight over the top. It's like, well, did you really need that vision?
Yeah.
There, right then, after losing that fight and knowing that a few of them were still full HP, did you really need to see that they were taking down Dragon? I'm not sure that she did.
Yeah, and it absolutely had no health, and I thought she's lingering around. I thought this is hanging too long, and it worked very well. And well, you know, this is complete roles reverse, really, isn't it? From the first map where the fight over Dragon went horrendously wrong for logiX, and they gave it all to Peculiar. This time, though, Tabuna did peel off a couple of kills in there, so didn't come out empty-handed. He picked up a 2 for 0. But, you know, Gragas picked up kills, Leigh picked up kills, and Shyvana obviously just picking up that last kill on Coralol, which was an unnecessary kill, just like the first game. There was a couple of unnecessary kills. Akioso might get caught out up lane a little bit here. Lunatics, Udyr, and Gragas, sorry, Galio, all coming around the back side of him. He will have that dash away. He uses the ulti. Very nicely played by Akioso there. Stunned up on the tower. Leigh coming in to support. Very well played there. Akioso just really timed that ulti perfectly. Was waiting for Lunatics to use the ulti to get onto him, which would have stunned him up, and instead really avoided the action. Very nicely done there. Blood Dragon now returns to lane, realises that top lane is safe and secure, and will just farm out that middle. Meanwhile, down the bottom, you can see Ken and Severus will be picking up those CS down the bottom. How is it working out between these two? Because obviously Cogmore was left a long way behind, and still is. 50 CS almost difference between those. 50 creep score. That is a huge amount of gold. It works out to about 1,000 gold. Meanwhile, they're going to dive in towards Coralol. Will get caught out, but a good ulti there forced Severus away. His ulti didn't land on anything, but he does pick up the kill, and that's what counts. And so, again, Tabuna's support is gone, and he's all on his own in this bottom lane. And, well, the blue buff now up. Akioso will pick that one up without any problems.
And you can't blame Coralol, right? Because he was just putting a ward down. Or maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah, the usual classic. I was just placing a ward, yeah.
But yeah, getting caught like that is exactly what Peculiar can't afford to be doing right now. They can't afford to be giving more kills away. And, well, unfortunately for them, that was the first one for Kennen, which makes him even more stronger to add to the fact that he's currently, well, around about 50 CS ahead. Is he going to dive in there onto Tabuno? No, he's not. Tabuno doesn't have his health, his summoner spell heal up. Here that goes Kennen. And, well, he's landing absolutely everything, Severus, today. He's done a great job landing these shurikens one after the other.
And he's played the lane so well. He's realised he's got such a huge advantage over Cogmore that he's not pushing the tower. He's not once attacked that tower. He's just been minion farming because he realised, look at it, 170 CS to 116.
The longer he keeps him in lane, the better.
Yeah, and just look at the gold difference. 6.3k for Severus, 5.2k. It's given him that 1k advantage. Now he's going to take the turret down. And I tell you what, Tabuna needs to be careful. He can get caught out. He's going to go for a controller. A Coralol instead. We'll get the stun down, and that will be an easy kill. But it went to Intox. God damn it, man. Why did you steal that kill away from your AD carry? Would you believe it? Mid-turret now, they're actually pinging on towards Carianas. They want to try and pick him off. Top turret also gone down. Sleazy Weezy taking down that one as well. So Leigh doing a fantastic job. Attackman needs to be careful and wisely backs away. Realises that bottom lane has gone missing and could well be coming his way. Instead, they're lingering in the jungle. They're hoping they can pick up someone that passes by. And honestly, they could just continue pushing this one because the rest of the map, the teams are just, they're pushed on every lane, and it's one of those situations when you're losing every lane, it's not a good sign for late game.
Yeah, when you're losing every lane, yeah, indeed, not good at all. And we can see that Tabuno again is going to be forced in here. Severus, I agree with you in what you said, that it was better for him to keep that turret alive as long as he possibly could, because at the end of the day, he had the advantage. When it came to kills, he was going to probably have them anyway. Severus there even having the cheek to steal away those two golems right in front of Carianas. And that bottom lane for logiX is going to get themselves. So, Leigh doing a good job as well up in the top lane. Actually, Warwick came in, but Leigh just ignored him and just took down the turret anyway up in his top lane. He's going to get back himself there into his farming pattern as well. He's currently 202, 154 CS. Gragas 170 to the 190 of Galio. And it looks like Peculiar are going to try and change this around into a mid-turret takedown, which is definitely possible. That mid-turret isn't very healthy, and it needs just a couple of hits more from Tabuno, and that is the first mid-turret down. So still hanging on here. Yeah, it's 4 kills difference, but it's, only 1 turret difference, and to be honest, I think they'll be happy with the fact that they've got this middle turret down, even though they've lost that bottom and the top turret, because, middle turret on the outer, so important.
Yeah, so much more vision is lost from that one. Akioso now returning with that Rabadon's death cap. So he's going to be doing, as I mentioned it, doing a lot more damage. He just wipes them out with 1 single barrel. And that blue buff on as well. And actually, Peculiar wisely sticking around there. I thought they were all suddenly going to go back. And then suddenly a couple of them just cancelled the back there. Realised, actually, if we all go, we are going to lose this turret. Which, ironically, is what you see teams do so much. They get the advantage and then all go back and spend. And then go, boom, lost towers. Which is exactly what we saw in the game 2, I think it was, between the teams. So, Pink Ward just ran out there, sorry, for logiX. It was the Wraith Ward, so we'll keep an eye whether they manage to get that one back planted. Looks like Shyvana's going to try and do that right now with the Wriggles. Dragon is up, or it will be any second. They are in position. You see the ward going out there. We've got an Oracle on Blood Dragon, which means you can see those wards as they get placed. They pull the dragon out, they're going to leech it down. Peculiar have got a 5-man down the bottom here. They are ready waiting, but they are going to take it away. Look how quick they did that dragon. Absolutely decimated it. Now they're going to try and pick up some kills. Kennen thought about it there. Sleazy Weezy has gone in. Can he manage to ulti kick anyone out? The Dragon's trying to take a peek. He's actually going to leap across. Not too sure that's the right situation. Corolo used the ulti at the wrong time there. Galio hasn't been able to plant yet either. I don't think whether he's going to... Now he plants a Tox. Is going to go for the ulti on Tabuna. Tabuna's surely going to go down at the side there, but Gragas has been picked off. Peculiar coming out very well on this one. Intox now has to flash across. Will get away from that one now. Sleazy Weezy. Oh, Kennen, you're so low. He just about dashes away. Sleazy Weezy also going to use Kennen as an escape mechanism. And would you believe, just a 1-for-1 exchange with absolutely all abilities. Summoner spells burnt out like crazy. Bottom now, Shyvana suddenly realizes, hang on a minute, I've got an Oracle. I've been trapped off here. And is he going to be able to dodge it round? He's saying go to the bush. They're saying go to the bush, go to the tower. Just port back. That's what you got to do. And he will get away from it, so saves that Oracle. And 8-4 in kills, but still, as you just saw, them team fights are very, very close, considering Janna's ulti was kind of misused, almost just to save herself.
Yeah, and there was action all over the place, to be quite honest with you as well. A couple of them peeled off to try and finish off Cognor. They were off to the right-hand side. They were fighting there at the bottom of the ramp, chasing down. So, a bit more coordination. I feel these team fights could be, just won and lost between that one, because they are so very, very even up to this stage. Let's have a look here down the bottom. A few people in chat were just talking about, the fact, do you go with your AD carry? Do you prefer to stack up your Doran's Blades, or do you go Wriggles early? And there we saw one of the advantages, Deman, of having your AD carry going Wriggles rather than stacking Doran's, is the fact that you get that proc from Wriggles when you start to take down Dragon. And we saw how fast they did it there with 2 Wriggles in the team. Indeed,
yeah. It is a big advantage. It's something we've saw teams doing over and over. I can remember Lowland Lions doing it yonks ago, months and months, probably a year ago now. Gamescom, Team Solar Mid, they used to run the triple Dorans, triple Wriggles early on, which meant they went for the early Dragons and early Barons as well. It's something that's, it's been around for a long time that teams have really been utilising, and obviously we see it right here with the double Wriggles going very quickly. What didn't surprise me there, though, was how quick Gragas went down. It's always the thing with the AP Gragas. He are very, very weak. They can get taken down very quickly, and he got popped. I'm not too sure how much of a combo he even got out before he went down, actually, which could be a problem, which may be why logiX's damage was lacking a little bit in there. Attackman really positioned himself very well again. You can see he's sort of gone half and a half at the moment. He's got that Abyssal Scepter in to reduce the magic resist, along with the Warden's Mail and the Chalice he used very early on, which he built up. are they really positioning for Baron here? We are 26 minutes in. I mean, it's entirely doable. Either team could do it. Gragas landing those barrels quite happily, farming away. Sleazy Weezy's going to catch out logiX here. Does ulti kick him away? logiX being separated from the team. I think he's going to go down before they can react. Yes, he will do. And now they're going to turn on towards Attackman. Attackman, oh, what a great ulti there. Corolo trying to land it, but immediately they blasted, Attackman out of his ulti as well. That's going to be the Nuno ulti. Will be Kennen that picks it up there. What fantastic control from logiX. It's a complete turnaround from the last match. They are feeling so much confidence, so much better with their ultis. Attackman, you barely saw his ulti land and he was knocked out of it straight away by Akiyoso's barrel. And well, that is going to be in a tower, 2 kills, and really very much in control. You know, they could turn around here and go for Baron, and I don't think they could really harass it too much. They have got Sleazy Weezy pinned out there. The barrel comes in. Corolo's got to be careful. Blood Dragon's coming around him. He's going to get the burnout on him. Corolo will go down. Didn't see whether Corolo actually had an Oracle on him there, actually. I didn't think so. Sleazy Weezy escapes by the skin of his teeth and obviously uses that shield and pot to escape. Very nicely played. 3 for 0 there for logiX. And this is just role reversal from the first game. This is kind of what we expected in the first game, Joe.
Yeah, this is what we expected in the first game, especially since they got off to the to that 3-0 lead as well. In the end, though, Peculiar showing us that they definitely can put up something in this one. But I'm assuming that the 10 minutes or so that they had in between the games really made a massive, massive difference, to be quite honest with you. And logiX have sat down, had a chat about, okay, this is going wrong, this is going right, etc., etc. And, well, they seem to have fixed that at least for this one. logiX just farming his way up at this top. Obviously, does have what now finished? Frozen Heart, Wit's End, both finished. Ninja Tabby from earlier. 181 to 181 CS, so that top lane even on the creep score. However, Leigh Sin for me has been so instrumental. We saw their logiX just getting caught out from the start of that last fight, Deman just sauntering down river like nothing was ever going to happen to him. And then just kicked into the pack, and that was always a bad start to lose your Warwick that early on. And as you said, I guess you can call them counter ultis. As Galio's went off, we saw the barrel being thrown in there by Akiyoso, and everything just going to plan so far for logiX, the next, not a C. And, well, we wait for the time when they're going to stack up ready for the Baron here. They're actually pinging down towards the south side of the river, so this Dragon maybe the next idea. They've pinged Warwick there. That is the Peculiar guys, by the way, that pinged their Warwick. I think they were probably telling him, hey, what are you doing? Why are you there? Why are you all alone down there when we know that Dragon's going to spawn and they're probably hanging around somewhere? And, oh, Severus needs to be careful here not to get caught out. Just went into the pack. Nice barrel came across as well. And I think this could be a good time to start off the off this Dragon anyway. They should have seen that Kog'Maw went back over towards this middle lane. They want to get a little bit more poked and a little bit more pre-fight damage, if you want to call it that, before they start this one off. And they're actually going to move straight in here with Sleazy. You can see they're so scared of him. Attackman gets his ulti off. It's cancelled immediately. There's the Kennen ulti. logiX is going to go down. Where is the focus coming in? Severus is just backed away. He's got Ignite running on him though. Carianis is surely going to die. He's got his turtle shield up. He is burning from the Ignite. Let's switch over quickly as Tabuno and Corolo both are taken out. And the passive from Kog'Maw not going to do anything. And now they are hunting Attackman, who's headed off down towards this bottom where there is actually nothing. But logiX say, whatever, Galio, you stay alive, my friend. We're going to go over and we're going to start off this Baron. Sleazy is going to kick the Baron in the nuts, and we are going to start it off. If the Baron has nuts, I'm not sure if he does.
A poke in the eye on the Baron, and that will be an easy pickup for logiX there. Very nice fight. Obviously all triggered off by that Dragon fight, which they haven't even picked up Dragon yet. And, you know, they just thought, you know what, we've come out with such a great advantage from that fight, let's take it now. And the only one that went down was Severus, who tried his best to get an escape out that back door, but the Ignite, I think, was the one that finished him off in the end, or may have been Kog'Maw's last hits. But yeah, very nicely played by logiX there. And again, did you notice how quick that barrel from Gragas came out? This is what we talked about in the picks and bans. As soon as that Galio was picked up, they switched. I swear to God they were going to go Corki. Absolutely nailed on. And, you know, if so, if they really meant to go this way, I'm not sure. But if they switched, then even better, because Severus has played a fantastic AD Cannon on that bottom lane, really hammering out Cogmore. You know, he's probably thinking, I love this now, I'm going to do this more often. Because I swear to God, Corky was still coming out there. I don't know, I'd love to be able to speak to these players, interview them, and ask them that question, because it does seem like that Gragas was purely picked simply and straightforward to interrupt that Galio ulti, and it's worked every time because he saved it every single time. As soon as Galio ulti goes down, it is broken in seconds by the attack man, by Akioso. I'll get his name right in a minute. But 5-15, big difference in gold, 3-1 in turrets, and honestly in items is also different. Complete contrast from the last game. And you know, I talked about it in the first game, it's only fair to say it this time that you can see you could add up the two, the jungler and the support character's gold, and you would not be close to what AD Cannon's got at the moment. He has got Infinity Edge, he has got Phantom Dancer, he's going to be doing a lot of damage, quick and hard. He is doing a fantastic job, so it's only fair to point these things out, as we did last game.
Yep, and for those pedants in the chat, of course, when Deman says in a matter of seconds, speaking figuratively when Galio's ultimate is 2 seconds. I suppose he should say within milliseconds.
Milliseconds. I mean, I could try and get my stopwatch out next time. I don't know. What do you guys want?
Well, yeah, I totally agree with you. As we mentioned, we expected a big AD carry to come in on the last one, Kennen to go mid, and they switched it around last minute, and it's worked perfectly for him. You can't say a bad word up to now, in my opinion, from logiX's point of view. Although, you may say that what they've done with Baron so far has not been all that impressive, but I think it's more of a chance of, or more of a case of them trying to get into position now to get something started off as the barrel goes rolling in. And you know, that barrel now with Gragas, let's have a look at his AP quickly. Almost 500, 497 with Void Staff and Rabadon's Death Cap, Triple Doran's Blade, plus the Baron buff running on him as well. And they should be able to get in here. You can see his barrel just absolutely obliterates the creep waves. And anyone else that's lucky enough to stand anywhere near it. And they've got good poke, to be honest, logiX here. Obviously, they can get those barrels right in onto the turret. These shurikens coming around as well. Being countered by the Q of Galio, of course. And that Cogmore ulti. So they're still somehow managing to hold on. And there was a ping to be careful there. As they back away. So, you know, logiX, although I said there's not much to bad to say about them, I'd say they're, you know, not really utilizing this Baron to its full potential up till now.
Yeah, but it was more of just a Baron of opportunity, I guess. It's like a thief. You see something and you quickly take it. You see the advantage. They got the 4-man still alive. They thought, okay, let's just take it. They weren't like planning. They hadn't got the lanes planned. They had lanes prepped. So like, once we've got this, we can go and push all these lanes. They just simply picked it up because it was there, it was available, and obviously they got the Dragon to follow it. Lunatic's getting caught out again there. Every fight started that way. Oh, the barrel coming out, the ulti barrel nearly finishing him off. Has got Tabuna down. Tabuna has been picked off very nicely. That, well, like I say, all about the opportunity. They just stole that kill. Almost got Blunatix in it as well. You can see Blunatix having to go back. Coralol also going back. They're going to have to give up on this inner turret. They need to be careful they don't get caught out. You can see he was trying to ulti kick. Actually, he's been blown a long way in. Sleazy Weezy. The ulti coming out from Severus as well. Severus getting involved. Will get Karanos. No, surely, yes, he will get finished off by Blood Dragon. No, I don't believe he's got away with this one. Oh my god, how's he managed to escape that? They've not got anywhere near the turret. They haven't got any minions anywhere near either. Lunatic's trying to get towards Severus. They're a long way gone because they haven't even taken the inner turret out yet. Yeah, they were way past in towards the Nexus turrets there. Blood Dragon still taking hits. Is going to back away. The Baron buff has worn out. And, well, talk about kills of opportunity. They went crazy there. Balls deep.
An interesting one as well, how far he got knocked back in there, because actually Lee Sin used his flash to do that classic Lee Sin move, which is flashing behind them and kick them in the ass out of the base and into the rest of the team, but didn't quite work out that way, how they planned it. But still, you know, 17 for 6. We've got, well, 15k almost gold advantage for logiX. You can't see them losing this one. You wouldn't be very good at betting if you bet on the fact that they were going to come back in this game, in my opinion. 4-1 in turrets, and it's just not looking like it's going to be their game. Obviously, Shyvana 4-1-10, very, very strong. Frozen Mallet finish there. Wriggles, obviously the Wit's End as well. And Quicksilver Sashers, basically, across the board, even if they get caught in that Galio ulti, which, you know, to stop the fact that Gragas can interrupt that one the fact that Nunu can pull him in, that Lee Sin can kick them out, that Kennen can stun him, whatever you want to say. You know, if you get stuck in that one, then it can be a problem. But with a Quicksilver Sash, it doesn't matter anyway. You just Quicksilver Sash straight out of it, and you can interrupt it right from the get-go. And you know, the team comp that logiX have come in with this one makes so much sense on paper. And I think this is one of those games where, okay, logiX have played well. They've played really well. I don't think Galio's particularly, you can't really say Attackman's had a bad game or something. I think he's just been counterpicked, and that's a real thing.
Yeah, and I think we might see actually Akioso saving that ulti or changing it for something else now. Like you mentioned, they've got them 3 Quicksilver Sashes on. They'll just be like, right, fine, we're not going to worry about Attackman's ulti anymore. We'll just QSS out of it, and then we'll use the damaging barrel now, because he has got a lot of ability power, 434 ability power. He will be doing a lot of damage. So as it is, they are in an incredibly strong position. But we've seen games thrown from harder, so it's entirely possible still. 15k gold difference. Exactly what we saw Fnatic come back against Dignitas with. You know, Dignitas absolutely hated the fact they threw that game, and I think logiX would be in a similar situation because they'd be out the tournament. Well, they'd be in the 3rd, 4th place playoff. But it's effectively being out the tournament. You don't, everybody know, but it's the game that nobody ever wants to play. Barrel's coming out there, and you can see it's continuing to poke away on towards Peculiar Gaming here. Remember that first game, if you missed it, did go to Peculiar. It was a very one-sided game as well. And again, Tabuna needs to be careful, doesn't get caught up that lane. Sleazy Wheezy is trying desperately to just get a Q across, dive up there, and boot someone straight towards. You can see Kennen and Severus, Sleazy were sat rating for them. Oh, they're going to use the Shirelia's Reverie. They're diving in for this one. I'm not too sure that's a wise choice, but Peculiar, and the barrel says no! That was a bad choice. They got absolutely obliterated there. They ran straight into it. logiX were ready and waiting. That's a 3-for-0 exchange. It's going to be a 4-for-0. I don't think... Oh, Akioso might get taken down by Tabuna. Yes, he will do, but he's going to pay for it with his life. And that is another ace. And really, you have to question that call. Who the hell made that at 22-7? Or, well, it was less than that, obviously, at the time. But when you're that far behind, why would you use Shirelia's and fight them away from a tower? Surely in that situation, you just go, we can only engage on a tower. My mind actually is blown as to why the hell they would have just done that.
Yeah, a horrible choice. But the thing is, they were going to be forced to fight at some point soon anyway for that, for the Baron. But they could have picked their position better then. So, you know, yeah, just I think more of a desperation thing, to be quite honest with you, than anything else. They know that this game is not only slipping away from them, it's pretty much falling off a very steep cliff at this point of the game. So, you know, it was kind of, let's go in and try it, but still, this is always, we talk about this often, Deman, that when you're behind, do you surrender? Do you try your best? Do you just go for what you think is right? Or do you actually stay completely focused on the game? And, you know, because this game wasn't over before that fight, I'd say. This game still was not set in stone. It still could have turned around. And for me, you have to, all the time, especially when you're at a semi-final in a tournament, you have to keep your concentration and you have to pick the best fight, not just fight for the sake of it. You have to be on the ball the whole time, because either way, whatever happens here, if they lose this game right now or in another 20 minutes from defending, they've still got to play a 3rd and final game, and it's better to keep your spirits high for that 3rd game than to go in absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, indeed. So do you think they should just surrender? I mean, well, no, that's still harsh. I always say,
no,
until you lose inhibitors and you realise your base is pretty much done, you should never surrender. But yeah, I know what you're saying. You got to try and keep the morale up. But when you go suicide like that, it demoralises you. I mean, that wasn't even a close fight. It was just.
That wasn't even a fight.
It wasn't even a fight. Yeah, they sort of went in and Akioso said, "Oh, have a barrel or two in your face." I don't even recall Attackman actually being able to plant. I think he was dead before as soon as he came around that corner, to be honest. And when you're going into a fight, when you have got, like I say, you've got the Nunu and the Kennen ulti combined as well, which are pretty mean in itself, along with a big barrel. Yeah, it's just tons of damage, I believe is the phrase. And of course, let's not count out Shyvana's ulti as well. When she goes leaping across, that fire damage that comes out from that, absolutely devastation. So 22-7. 20k gold difference. You may as well just say it's 100k gold difference at the moment, because Peculiar are throwing themselves into anything, any situation at the moment. They seem to have just completely lost track of how brilliantly they played in the first game, and completely just dropped into a dribbling vat of nothingness. And now logiX are working their way in. This is identical. There you go. They're trying to pick off all 3 lanes. I think they're probably going to rotate down to the bottom, because that bottom turret is got a huge stack on it. It could push itself, actually. But I think that's where they're going to probably likely go. logiX just hanging around, are going to try and push this one, but they haven't got a tank minion coming in with it. I can never remember the damn name of it. That thing there. Siege minion, that's the one I'm after. They're coming in with it. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, you can see Blood Dragon has come all the way down and says, I'm going to take all the turrets. It is 6-2 in terms of turrets, which is pretty big in itself. Let's have a quick look at the builds while we're seeing it. I mean, obviously, it's huge, the goal difference. We know it's going to be huge between the two. And again, as I do keep pointing out, the AD carry and the support is actually almost the same gold as Kennen itself at the moment. So Severus doing a fantastic job, just like they did with Twisted Fate. The interesting thing is going to be how they're going to ban as well after this. I'm absolutely not sure. Twisted Fate obviously will be banned out again because he did a fantastic job. Would you really target towards a Gragas? I mean, if you knew you were going to go for a Galio, maybe something that's going to knock him out of it, but there's a lot of things that can knock people out. The ulti is certainly a Galio ulti, but as a reactionary pick, which I am almost certain logiX have, they have done a brilliant job, Joe.
Yeah, real great choices, no doubt in that whatsoever. And we are going to see them coming back in now. Obviously, they've just picked up Baron, which, sorry, they just lost their Baron buff, is what I meant to say. And that's going to be coming up in just a few minutes. But the question is, are they planning to wait that long? I'm not really sure. Actually, they're trying to force their way in onto one of these base turrets, but actually finding it pretty difficult, which you can kind of expect. They've got decent poke back there with the Q from attack line. Obviously, Cogmore can't nail them from a great distance as well. But it's Shyvana up on this top lane. She pushed the top lane back onto the inner turret. She took down the inner turret down on bottom as well. And yeah, wants to be careful not to get caught out there. A few hits, knocked down to half health. And we see Peculiar just run straight back to middle. It's kind of juggling between these minion waves that are coming in at the moment. Oh, Peculiar. But they know they have to be real careful of these Gragas barrels, because I think once they hit like half HP, they'll be quite content to go in there and take a fight, even if it's under a turret at this stage.
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether they're going to go back and buy here. They've all got like 2k, 2.7k you can see on Kennen, 2.5k on Shyvana. I think it would be wise if they do back off and go purchase all those items. They have got a lot. There's not really any timers up at the moment, yes, which is why they're going to back off and give a little breathing room to Peculiar. This is probably my one thing I would say about the good teams and the great teams, is the difference is when they get to this situation, when they have the
Moscow
base
5 would have finished
this
15 minutes ago.
Yeah, they can't quite finish the game off, and you get to this little stagnation period where they have a huge advantage. They are, well, 20k ahead in gold. They have a massive advantage compared to, say, your Moscow 5s, your CLGs, EU or North America, take your pick, Dignitas, something like that. They would find a situation. They would create a situation to basically base dive. They would send someone somewhere would take the balls to say, right, I'm going to take the tower hits. We're going for this guy, and in they would go. And it's the big difference. It always seems to me between certainly every time I watch the EPS or something like that. Even EU Nordic East, they do it to an extent, but they're just so aggressive. They'll create something.
Yeah, they create things at every level that should never actually happen.
Yeah.
In any game above like 500 elo or something. EU Nordic and East is such a great set of teams to watch.
I put it down to they all drink vodka.
It probably is that. Let's
during
be honest.
Games.
During and after. That's why level 1's so interesting, because they're so pumped up for it. But yeah, double Phantom Dancer now on Kennen, plus the Last Whisper, plus the Infinity Edge, plus a Wriggles Lantern, and that Quicksilver Sash. He's got no real room for anymore. I guess Wriggles Lantern did knock out first over anything else. And they wait, there is Baron right on the spawn, and they are going to start that one off. And guess what? Peculiar are nowhere to be seen. They know that they can't really fight for this Baron. And it's, I think, just a case of waiting and taking the best opportunity. We're going to see some kind of crazy messed up base race here.
Yeah, and they know exactly where they are. They're going to come up behind them. They're half-half. They're like, should we go up behind them or should we kill them? They're going to lose an inner turret, that's for certain. And they are coming up behind them. And actually, I think they made a bad choice there. Shirelia's Reverie been popped in by Peculiar. They want to try and take this as quick as possible. They need to get the turret down before the rest of the team arrive. They will do. logiX now going in on towards them. They're trying to take down the inhibitor. And you can see immediately a dive in from Blood Dragon there. Shyvana goes in. Attackman's ulti has been used, but Gragas' ulti follows it straight up. Destruction is imminent for Peculiar Gaming. Bloodetics now taken down. Last man standing, Karanius and Tabuna. And you know what? It actually did buy them time, because they're going to have to run all the way up the map now. They've got 60 seconds on some of them, but they're only going to get about the same as Peculiar have got, which is almost an inhibitor. They will get the inhibitor, but I don't think they're going to get much further, so that actually worked probably okay for Peculiar, despite the fact they got demolished.
Yeah, I don't know, 50 seconds, I think we could see everything down except the Nexus and its 2 turrets. Depending, you know, how logiX decides to go for this one. Kennan's attacking so quickly now with those little shurikens. And yeah, they're going to go top. So they're going to actually try and push out and have super minions streaming in on all 3 fronts by the looks of things. And they've still got, well, alright, 2 seconds for Janna, but that's not really going to scare them off. So let's say 10 seconds for Attackman. And actually they're pinging back towards Baron, which is interesting for me, because if they pressed tab and opened up the scoreboard, you know, I mean, they should know when they're coming back in. The fact that this bottom turret could have been theirs as well. I guess they want to take all the jungle as well. But for me, logiX, I don't know, making a little bit hard work of this game than it probably should have been. Yeah, definitely. And they could have, you know, they've chose to do that way, but with what they had with the Baron team, they could have base raised it and easily won it, I think. But that said, you know, Cogmore can do a lot of damage. Warwick could do a lot of damage, so they could probably shred the turrets down pretty quickly. Oh dear. Hey, actually, you know what? I think possibly they could have lost that if they'd have gone base raised, because Peculiar were in there very quickly. It would have been a very tight one, you know. Actually, now I come to think of it, because they've got double Shirelias as well. Yeah, and they're a bit more AD heavy, Peculiar are, so that could have been a very tight race. So probably the wiser choice for logiX to actually back away on that one. So logiX just playing it safe. But as you can see, they are way ahead in gold now. Not even close. But we are at the stage where a lot of people are at end builds. I mean, you just look at Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and another Bloodthirster on the making, and the last Whisper for Cogmore. Double Phantom Dancer for Kennen, because one's never enough. You've always got to have more. Sleazy Weezy trying to get in there on towards Blunetix. Blunetix now with that Guardian Angel will not be the focus of target this time. So he's normally been getting in there and kicked in the face or kicked in the nuts, whatever you'd like to call it. But he ends up flying out in towards logiX. This time logiX are not going to go that way. They need to probably follow up these super minions. The super minions going towards the Nexus. Maybe come around the side, do something, create something. They realise that Karianis has had to back away to deal with him. As soon as they see him back away, they'll probably try and follow it through. They haven't got the siege minion with them this time. Look, they just need to take the hits. Somebody, look how many hit points Blood Dragon's got. Look how many hit points Intoxic's got. Somebody just needs to take the balls and say, right, I'm going to tank this turret. Sleazy Weezy's finally done it, and then the rest of the team are not there with him. What are they doing? They're so hesitant on these things when they have such a huge advantage, Joe. It annoys me. Yeah, and, you know, Kennen, he's double Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, and a Bloodthirster. So even if he gets attacked, he can probably attack faster than they can take his health away anyway. So, you know, there we go. Finally, they decided to get themselves in there. Obviously, super minions coming in from the sides, and we should, I'm saying should because I'm not 100% sure in this game how it's ever going to end. See them push straight through for this one. I mean, they can literally just kill the minions and let those super minions be their friends and, you know, start helping them out and attack the turrets. Indeed. Oh no, blue and red buff are up in the Peculiar jungle. Let's go back and get them. Let's just make sure, play it safe, gods. Play it safe, lads. Hit that Nexus turret, Severus. For the love of God, end this game. And there we go. Oh my God, he's left one damn hit on it. I don't believe it. He's just hashed away at it and then left one tiny little slither on it. Do your job, AD carry, and hit that turret. That's all you need to do.
They're so cautious, and they are going to go for it this time. Finally, Gragas ulti will come down. It was the Guardian. Sorry, oh, Severus is going to get taken very low, but look at that, the lifesteal he got off that. Just absolutely hammering away, basic attacking, just healed through all the damage that Warwick could do to him. Finally, good lord, we are going to go to a third game, Joe. It took some doing, and logiX, they seem to be questioning their own abilities to actually do something here. But finally, surely a bit of confidence will show through now.
Well, yeah, I told you that, didn't I? That Kennen can actually lifesteal his way back to victory without actually dying at the same time. But, you know, there we go. So yeah, that is 1-1 in this best-of-3 series. We are going to be going through into a third and final game to decide the second team, which will go through into the grand final of EPS Germany. And that should be coming up here in just a couple of moments. But first of all, let's take a look at a very busy post-game screen, since the game lasted, what, 52 minutes? For a 30 kills to 9 game, that was a long game.
Yeah, for such a one-sided game.
Yeah. So Severus on Kennen, 11-1-12, double Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirst, Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and that Quicksilver Sash. A Kaizo and Gragas, a great pick that myself and Deman, you know, we said that. A bit more of a reactionary pick at the end, and it worked out perfectly for them. Attackman's ultis on Galio basically didn't really do anything. Didn't have the time to do it because he was knocked away straight off. Sleazy Weezy on Lee Sin, a great performance in this top lane, 5-1-21. Intox on Nunu, 3-1-22. That is a good performance from a sport. Maybe 3 kills more than he should have in the end. But I think in a game like this, why not pick up a couple of kills anyway? Because you can bet that the rest of your team will steal them anyway. And Blood Dragon on Shyvana, 6-17. So, you know, this semi-final has been a bit of a strange one. Game number 1 was, you know, one-sided. To not beat around the bush. Game number 2 was pretty one-sided. That can only mean that game 3 is going to be awesome. Maybe.
Yeah, no, it should be. It's been interesting games, and either team, actually, even when Peculiar had a big advantage, they were very cautious about closing it out. But yeah, logiX very wary about closing that one out. But they did it eventually, Joe, and we are going to have a third match.
Yeah, third match will be coming up here in just a couple of minutes, I guess. Judging by the last game, they got it straight up there, so don't go anywhere. It's logiX versus Peculiar. Winner of this next game will go through into tonight's grand final. The loser will have to play MTW in the game after this for third place. It's a little bit confusing stuff, but all you need to know is we're going to be here till at least midnight with League of Legends action. So don't go anywhere.